Hello, everyone. Good evening, friends. I'm going to be in conversation with a renowned speaker from Manipur. He is an activist. He is doing a lot of good work. Dr. Haokip is doing amazing work, I believe. And we were recently on a panel together on television. And you know how it is in on television. You don't get enough time. And so, pardon me for the internet problem. Now it's
Right.
back. So so normally you get limited time on television, but here I said Dr. Haokip had a lot to say. In fact, let me bring in to him and let me ask what is his way of thinking forward for a better Manipur, for a better India, for peace and humanity. Dr. Haokip, good evening and thank you very much for spending time, bhai.
Jan,
Jai Hind, bhai. Jai Hind. So tell me, what are your thoughts about the way forward? What should be the way forward, actually?
well, thank you for inviting me here. To begin with, there is a lot. Even my head can bear me to speak about all those what's happening around in Manipur back home. Well, if we are going to talk about what exactly is the situation out there, it's been close to 50 days now. But if you go through all those 50 days, then time would be so limited. So I'll be talking about, I'll be sharing with all the viewers here, including yourself, Mohammed Ji. So within these 2-3 days, we have seen so many things happening around in Manipur, in different corners, in different parts of Manipur, especially in Kangpokpi district and also in Churachandpur district, which is one of the epicenter of the present ethnic violence taking place in Manipur. So, well, as we all must be aware, and you yourself must be aware that the situation in Manipur is so deep-rooted, the division, the class, the mistress is so deep-rooted that we can just come forward. We can just come forward with having so many committees, setting up so many committees, or giving from press release statements, notifications from government side. So there are lots of things which we need to dissect it, which we have to take more than an hour, a day or two. But as of today, I'm going to present you very briefly, brief and precise. First and foremost, across the globe, across India, we all know what exactly is going around, what exactly is moving around in Manipur. And as we speak, the Imphal Valley is burning. The Imphal Valley is burning. As you can see yesterday, our Honorable Minister, Ms. Madam Namcha officer residence has been burned down by the angry mobs. We don't know who exactly it is, but ultimately, P. Namcha Kipgen belongs to the Kuki-Jo family. And today itself, an hour back, there was a burning of houses, arsoning taking place in New Chekun area in the heart city of Imphal. So who exactly is the perpetrator? Imagine the location. New Chekun is predominantly inhabited by the Kuki-Jo family. And now, since there are no Kuki-Jo family in those Imphal Valley, who could probably burn? And those mobs, angry mobs and women, says that this is something created by someone else. This is not burned. This is not arsoning by the Meitei community. There is something behind who try to create misunderstanding between different communities. But imagine when there are no Kuki-Jo family in the heart of Imphal city, who else could have burned down their houses in New Chekun area? Now, leaving aside all those issues, let me get back the viewers and yourself to 2 days incidents, what's happening around. You see, the Khamelok areas, the Saikul areas, which we have all know in the social media, as well as I have very close contact, even my own very close kindred, cousin, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties, so many of them are there in the very places where arsoning taking place, killing taking place, attacking taking place. Now, my point is, believe me, what exactly is happening and how they twist it, how the majoritarian community twist it, fabricate it, and fake it and misrepresent the report, even in social media as well as print and electronic media as well. Now, Khamenlok area, Saikul subdivision is very much part of the hill district called Kangpokpi, which was earlier known as Senapati district, and which shared the boundary with Imphal East, Imphal West, and also Okrul Hill district. Now, what exactly happens? It is
I've
very
been
much
to
true.
Kangpokpi on several occasions. In fact, Dr. Haokip,
Right,
sorry to interrupt, but the National Highway 2, right from Dimapur to Medzifema, Ghasmani to Kohima, and then to Zakhama, and
right,
then further on to it goes on further on to Mao Gate, and then Jwalamukhi, then
right,
Kangpokpi, and then after that
right.
comes Senapati. That's the Senapati Belt, and
You're
Mantrikupri,
you're
Imphal
much
on the east
you're very
line.
much familiar. You're much very much familiar with the geographical location of Manipur. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Now, coming to the
Thank you,
point,
doctor.
this Khamenlok area, the very village they call it Aigizang, which the majority community in the Imphal Valley claims that this was an attack by the Kuki militants. Now, in a simple term, let me quote in a simple term: if you stay at your home, if you don't attack the Kuki village, who else will attack you? Who's going to shoot you back? We have to defend. My brother, we have to defend. We can't just give a life. If a person, if a group of people, if a terrorist attack, will the Kashmiri give their lives if the terrorists attack? What if the Biharis are attacked by the terrorists? Wouldn't they sit it quiet? Wouldn't they remain in a silent spectator? No. No, if at all, Aigizang, in a place called Aigizang, which is located in Khamenlok area under Saikul subdivision of Kangpokpi district, is attacked by the majority community, those militant groups. What else do they expect? We have to defend ourselves. In defending our life, our land, our village, the village volunteer has to defend themselves and to do something which they have in their hand. They have to do something. In the process, lots of life has been lost. I'm very, very sorry. I convey my heartfelt condolence to all those innocent lives who lost, whose mothers are crying now in Imphal, whose brothers are crying, whose aunties are crying, whose sisters are crying for losing their lives, their innocent brothers. Believe me, it is very heartening to say all these things, but the fact of the matter remains, if at all those innocent youths are not being compelled to come along with those valley terrorist group called Arambai Tengol and Meitei Lipun, they should not have lost their lives. Believe me. So in simple terms, stay safe, stay home, don't come to attack the villages. We are also human. If our village has been attacked, we have to do something to defend our lives, our village, our property, our children, our women. So this is the fact. So if you do not come and attack the Kuki village, nobody will hurt. So that there can be peace. We can bring normalcy back. Stop attacking Kuki village. And in the meantime, I would also like to draw the attention of the weavers across India and across the globe. After the Home Minister of India, Sri Amit Shah ji, visited Manipur on 29th of May, and he left the state on date 1st June. And you know what happened? Even in his own presence, while he was in Kangpokpi, while he was in Churachandpur called Lamka, a majority of people from the valley attacked Kuki village in Churachandpur, in Chandil areas, Chandil district, in Kangpokpi, which is my hometown, Kangpokpi. I am the witness of all those things. I know what's happening. No media, media controlled by the valley people can deny this fake. While Amit Shah was there, the moment he left the boundary between Kangpokpi district and Imphal West, there was a firing from Kangla Tombi side, which is Imphal West District side. People are defending, people have to defend themselves. Just imagine, Amit Shah has been promising, asking, appealing, making a humble appeal for 15 days to maintain peace, to maintain harmony, to bring back normalcy, to refrain from violence, shootings and killings and arsonings, whatnot. And because of the situation has been griming up after his visit on date 4, subject to correction, on date 4 of June, Mr. Amit Shah make an earnest appeal, as you can see even in his Twitter also, as you can see, he honestly appealed to the people of Manipur on both communities to refrain from attacking, to refrain from violence, and also he appealed to the people of Kangpokpi district especially, who are occupying, who are blocking National Highway number 2. He appealed for the people that blockade should be lifted so that essential commodities could be transported to the valley, so that through all those gestures, good gestures, we can bring back normalcy. He did appeal, and we wholeheartedly believe in his appeal, and we lifted the blockade. We lifted the blockade, but in the process, while we are concerned to bring back normalcy in the state by lifting the blockades in the National Highway number 2, there was fighting, there was attacking, there was arsoning against the Kuki villages, killing and whatnot. So after 2-3 days of lifting the blockades, we again decided to block the National Highway again. So believe me, what's going around now, what exactly is happening around now. Now, if you talk about what exactly is, you know what exactly terrorist group, Meitei Lipun, I could quote it. I could definitely say, I should not hesitate in calling these people terrorist groups like Meitei Lipun and his leaders, Mr. Pramod Singh. And in fact, I'm telling you one thing, which I've known about Pramod Singh. Pramod Singh is a person who is known to me also. He was there in Kangpokpi district way back 2-3 years back. And we also had a meeting. We also had a discussion while there was a problem issue coming up with expansion of National Highway, which is going to be upgraded to ASEAN Highway. So we were there. I was one of the executive members with all those issues. So we had a discussion at the Deputy Commissioner's office at Kangpokpi. Mr. Pramod Singh was also there, and he also have many Kuki Jo family within Kangpokpi district as well. So he used to travel a lot in all parts of the Hill district. He knows it well. He make friendship with the people, especially also with the Kuki Zo family. He have lots of friends. Even now, I hope he do contact with them as well. Now, I thought this very person was very gentle person who really want peace, who really want to make friendship with the Hill people, especially the Kuki Zo family. But unfortunately, as you can see, what did he made a statement? What statement he made it? He openly declared. It was on 7 June. He openly declared, Pramod Singh openly declared while he was having a TV discussion with Karan Thapa. He said, we will wipe out the entire Kuki Jo populace within 15 kilometers who are settling in the National Highway number 2. Oh, really? I'm settling in National Highway number 2. And I should say, Mr. Pramod Singh, if you have guts, do that. But you cannot touch an inch of a land and our inhabitations. Because situation is such a way that if you at all, like I said before, if somebody is ready to attack us, we are ready to defend. So in such a way, things are happening around. And not satisfied with all those things, the Kokomi, whose name they bear for bringing peace and integrity of Manipur, now declare an open war to the Kuki Zo, what they call it, narco-terrorists, Who are these narco-terrorists? Do they mean all the entire Kuki populace? Or do they mean who are under suspension of operation? To them, this is, I'm going to make it very clear. Who are these so-called narco-terrorists according to Kokomi, according to the Valley people, according to Mr. Biren Singh, the chief minister, the failed chief minister in the history of Manipur? To them, they call it narco-terrorists. And today what happened? People, the groups of people whom they call narco-terrorists are the groups of people, are the groups of militant groups, Kuki Zone militant groups, whom the state government, the Home Ministry of India had signed an agreement called tripartite talks, which includes Mr. Biren, who is also in charge of Home Department in the state government of Manipur, and also the government of India. If at all, they can call it these groups of Kuki Zone militant groups who are under suspension of operation as narco-terrorists. Why are they signing an agreement with these narco-terrorist people? Biren has to answer this. Kokomi has to answer this. The people of Manipur has to answer this. Why should they sign suspension of operation groups to these Kuki Zone militant groups who are fighting for their people? Why should they call it these people as narco-terrorists when they already sign and extend this suspension of operation for another 12 months till 29 of 2024? Why? Biren has to answer this. The people of Manipur has to answer this. And Kokomi has to answer this. Mr. Pramod Singh has to answer this. If at all they call it a narco-terrorist, why should they sign an agreement? Why should they extend another 12 months of suspension of operation? Now, believe me, what's the narratives? The narratives keeps on shifting. From day one, they keep shifting the narratives, calling the Kuki Zone family as illegal immigrants, as poppy cultivators, and they call it a narco-terrorist now. And you know what? It's a funny thing. Somewhere in the social medias controlled by the Valley majority people, they say that these narco-terrorism, these narco-terrorists, or the so-called Kuki Zone family has a very good link with the Chinese. Oh, really? Why should we be scared of the Manipur government and India government had we had a very good link with the Chinese? And what do they make it again? They claim it that they projected it that the other narratives, the other narratives which they created is that this Kuki Zone family has a full support of those intelligence of Israel called Mossad. Funny. It is funny. What exactly is these narratives? What are they going to create it? What are they going to project it? Are they going to project this is national security threat because the Kukis are seemingly having a link with the Chinese, having a link with the Mossad of Israel? Really? Does that make sense? And of course, now all the picture has come out. It's an open secret. The center forces, the Indian armies are the witnesses that this state-sponsored terrorism carried out by Mr. Biren and his tools, like Aramba Tengol, Meitei Lipund, and the groups of people who was patronized and sponsored by Mr. Biren and Rajya Sabha MP, who is also the titular king of Manipur, called Maharaja Leisemba Sanajauba. Now, the Indian army, the central forces, are also the eyewitnesses. What exactly is happening? Who wear the camouflage of the army, or who wear the camouflage of the state commandos? There are lots of Arambai Tengols and Meitei Lipuns who wear the uniforms and camouflages of the state commandos and Manipur rifles and IRBs, and they went for attacking the Kuki villages. This is very clear. The center forces are aware of this. The entire world are aware of this. Nobody can deny it. My friends, if we really think about what exactly would be the way forward, of course, sir, I have lots of things things to tell you, but I will make a limit for today discussion. Now, as you ask me, as you want to hear from me, a way forward, a way forward. Now, first thing, first and foremost, for the way forward, Mr. Birendra, the very tall claim People's CM of Manipur, Mr. Birendra Singh, and his lead BJP government must tender, must accept their failures, their misgovernance, and must tender an unconditional apology to the people of Manipur and especially to the Kuki Zo family. This is first and foremost for the way forward to bring peace and normalcy back in the state. Secondly, he must resign. He must resign. And thirdly, he should not be member. He should not be a member of any peace initiatives, maybe from the governor, maybe from the center's government, the central leadership. He should not be, either whether it may be national level, it may be local level, it may be international level. Mr. Birendra and Rajya Sabha MP Maharaja Sanazau Simba Sanazauba soon be in a member. And as you can see, the peace committee set up by the Honorable Governor of Manipur, the Kuki Zo family, all those members included in the list, has rejected, flatly rejected, because we no longer trust Mr. Birendra and his truths. And we will never be part of this family, this committee also. So these are the things, the second, third, fourth things. Now the fourth point is, we need to, the state government or the central government has to invoke Article 356. It's been too late now, of course, but something is better. Something is better. Now the time is not too late to declare, to invoke Article 356. So that is the fourth thing. And the fifth thing, as and when Article 356 has been invoked, the state commandos, the state forces must be controlled. The civilians, the state forces has to be disarmed. As you know, there are more than 4,000, 5,000 arms and more than 5 lakhs ammunitions has been freely given out. It is not looted. Believe me, these we cannot call it looted. There wasn't any single bullet fire as a resistance from the armory, from the state forces. This is a state-managed giving away of arms and state arms and ammunition from the state armories by Mr. none other than the Chief Minister or the Rajya Sabha MP. So all the arms and ammunitions which is in the hands of the civilians, the Arambai Tengals, the state forces, commandos, IRBs, MRs should be disarmed by the central forces and the central government. And as we said, the sixth point is media manipulation. Media manipulation. This is very important, my friend. This is very important. Media manipulation, a propaganda, misrepresentation by the value-based media houses and channel should stop. So long as they do not present the facts, they do not present the facts and figures equally or with justification, there won't be any peace. They are creating more chaos, more misunderstanding, more vacuum between the two communities by presenting fake news, propagandas, misrepresentation of news, and everything in the medias and electronics and print medias. So perfectly the media channel and houses like Mummy TV, Elite TV, and whatnot, who is controlled by the valley community. So the media has a great role to play in it. The local media controlled by the valley community people, they have to play a very crucial role. If at all they want peace, they want to regain trust between the two communities. They should not play divide and rule policy. They should not represent what they have, make it false allegation, propagandas, and whatnot. Now, those are the things which we have here right at the moment. A way forward, like I said, I give you 5-6 points. Now, the last point which I would like to make is everything, despite all those misunderstandings, misrepresentations, disagreements, so deep-rooted mistrust between the two communities, the mistrust that has been built up for the past 45 to 50 days by the Kuki-Jo community against Mr. Biren, the Chief Minister, and also Rajya Sabha MP, and also the majority community, my fellow brothers, Meitei fans. There is a final thing which we can do. Everything we have to sort it out through dialogue, through negotiation, which includes political solution. Because, like I said, the violence, this mistrust has been so deep rooted, the division has been so deep rooted. And of course, let me come to another, let me touch through one very important. Now, coming to suspension of operation groups, for that through dialogue and negotiation, I would like to include that part also. Now, the suspension of operation groups, in the agreement, they said we will not touch the integrity of Manipur should be maintained. That was the agreement signed between the central government, the state government, and those Kuki militant groups under suspension of operation. Now, believe me, what happened now? Now, what happened? Because the valley majority community do not settle together, do not want to settle together with the Kuki-Jo family. They burn our houses, they looted, they make us leave the place, our residence, our office at Imphal Valley. Now what happens? We are compelled. The common people of the Kuki-Jo family are compelled in demanding separate administration. This is not our creation. This is not our narratives. These we are compelled by Mr. Biren and his patronized groups. Suspension of operations are not against the integrity of Manipur. Now the public of the Kuki-Jo family are against living together with the valley brethren again. Why? We are compelled to demand. The public people are compelled to demand for separate administration. This is very clear. Now, since the divide is so deep-rooted, the public are compelled to demand for separate administration, which we were not demanding at all, except suspension of operation people who are demanding maybe state within state for the Kuki-Jo family within Manipur state, maybe in the form of sixth schedule, maybe in the form of territorial council, which is not against, which is not, to break away from Manipur. Now what happened? What did happen now? Just imagine, who created all this? This is Mr. Biren and his patronized groups, terrorist groups, his friends groups, who tend to forget, believe me, who tend to forget, who tend to disrespect and undermine the heterogeneity of the people of the state and also the democratic systems or governance of India. So long as the majoritarian people, starting from the chief minister and his BJP government, disrespect, undermine the heterogeneity of the state, compasses of different culture, different societies, and also if at all they keep disrespecting and undermining the democratic processes of governance, ultimately the state of Manipur will no longer be like elsewhere Manipur. Thank you.
Dr. Haokip, I'll ask you, I'll allow you to speak and I'll ask you a few
Yeah,
questions. You blamed the Chief
sure.
Minister, Mr. N. Biren Singh, several times. And would there be any proof you would be having to substantiate your argument over here, sir?
Of course, of course. Starting from administrative point of view, starting from governance, there are many laws, enactment, act. There are many things. If at all we are an abiding citizens of India, which includes the state of Manipur, now what did happen? How about the act implemented for the hill people? How about the non-conduct of autonomous district council? How about the failed implementation of go to hills? How about the failed budget, annual budget systems of the state government for the hills and the valley? How about, like I said, the failure, the promises that the state government has promised for the hill people? How about non-implementation of what they have promised since 2017 for the hill peoples in the name of, in the slogan of making a slogan of go to hills? And also, how about the procedural lapse in implementing those laws and acts in the hills against the tribals? I can show you all those materials, all those facts and figures, but not true here. And of course, he has very much connection. And of course, we do have. I hope you must be aware of. You must be accessing all the relations made it with those militant groups, fringe groups called Arambai Tengol and Meitei Lipun, has a very good relationship with the chief minister. And of course, somewhere else you may have come across about how this Arambai Tengol has been constituted, has been initiated way back in 2005. And the chairman is none other than the two people, the two head of the state, the chief minister, and also the Rajya Sabha MP, Sana Zauba. Will they deny this fact? They are member. Then the minister, Susindro, and who else not? Most of them are the members and executive members, not just the members, the advisors, the members, the executive members in Arambai Tengols, and also with the blessings of Chief Minister and the state government to Meitei Lepuns, promoting he is the right hand of Mr. Biren. I'm well aware of that. He cannot deny it. Biren cannot deny it. Pramod Singh cannot deny it. I know how close they are.
Tell me one thing, Dr. Haokip, you must be having a lot of Maite friends from before. And you must be having personally, like, personally, like, there was a time when Nagad and cookies used to be not good friend at all. They used to be bitter enemies, I would say, sworn enemies. But then there came a time when they became friends. I'll take you back to 1997 to 1998. I do not mean to dig old wounds, unfortunately, but just an example I'm giving you. When the Cookie and the Zomi, they were fighting because they felt both the terms were derogatory. The Cookies felt that the Zomi term was derogatory and the Zomi felt the Cookie term was derogatory. And then ultimately people from Mizoram had to step in and a peace accord was signed and there was a feast where they sacrificed a bull. And the next day, both the communities, they invited each other and they shook hands and they became friends. But that's the time, 97, 98, that's the first time. I was there present in Manipur at that very time when
Correct,
those
correct. Every
when it was happening in
society.
Shashanpur. Yes, I was present there in
I
Manipur
agree with
that very
that.
time.
I agree with that.
So
I agree with
what I'm
that.
saying is, so
Every
what I'm saying,
every every society, every society. Sorry,
so what I'm
every
saying is,
society
if
has a history.
right. So what I'm saying is, if Zomis and Koki, though, in fact, like for example, Manipur, a lot of, okay, let's get back to the peace committee. As you said, that the chief minister should not be heading the peace committee. Somewhere, I too agree with that. Not because I cast aspersions on him, but because I feel that when people do not have faith in him, like the way I heard you speak, when people do not have trust in him, then I think it will be grossly wrong when he's been allegedly to have a hand in the rights, as you said. It'd be wrong for him to head the peace committee, and I feel that. And I also feel that the peace committee should be of neutral people who are neither cookies nor Maites. I believe there are 25 Maite names,
Right.
there are 11 cookie names, there are 10 Naga names, and then the rest. So I think that should not be the case. Now, it should be the case, the people who should be in the peace committee should be people who understand Manipur very well, who are totally neutral, who are neither cookie nor Maite, who know the topography, the geography, the history, the culture, the tribal
Correct.
affinity, the ethnic culture.
Correct.
I feel that. But there is a term, like for example, for me,
Correct.
my best friends are all from Manipur, by the way. I must tell this to you. And when I say Manipur, I do not mean Kuki or Naga or Maite, Baite, Paite, or I mean Manipur overall. So and I would like to convey a message to you and to the entire Manipuri people who are listening to me, people from Manipur who are listening to me. I Nanganongshi Manipur, and I generally love Manipur because I think they are very, very cultured people. Very beautiful place. Where else will you get a place, a scenic place with floating islands and Lake Loktak? In fact, when we mentioned about the NH2, when I was telling you the right from Kanpokti, then to Mantri Pokri, you go to Imphal, then Thobel, Kakchin, then Sorabasti is there, then Palel, then Technopal, Moraine, then there's a red and white bridge where you cross over to Tamu, and there's a 16-kilometer pack, right? That from Burma and from More, they can cross the border without passport and visa for 16 kilometers because they have found. But now the question is, like for example, I was interviewing somebody and from Manipur, and when I interview somebody from Manipur, I do not see whether the person is a Kuki or Maite. For me, it is Manipur. We are all Indians, and I love the fact, Dr. Haokip, that you started the conversation on your own by saying Jai Hind. I was really deeply moved by that, and I think it reflects a lot on your patriotism, a lot for your love for your state, for your country, for humanity. I truly appreciate that, and I truly appreciate you speaking your heart out completely. There was no limitation over here, unlike on television channels where you can speak for 2 3 minutes and then they would. I don't blame the television channels, also the anchor, also sometimes not for some of them polarize the news. Many news they make it communal. Some of them that is really wrong. That should be stopped. But about the paucity of time, and I truly appreciate. And trust me, I have been to Manipur and on not only from NH2. I have been to Manipur from Kohima. Then you go to Chakabama, then Foot Zero, and then Chesami, then Jasami, then Ukhrul, where the Tangkol belt is there, from Shangshak when you enter. I've also been to Manipur from Mizoram way, from Mizoram to Chachanpur. I've also been to
I
Manipur
appreciate
from.
that. I appreciate that.
Thank you, thank you. No,
Oh,
I generally,
that's great.
feel for Manipur. I generally feel for Manipur. That is why I have taken a lot of interest in interviewing former corps commanders of Spear Corps. This is a Spear tie, in fact, the Spear Corps tie. I was ADC to the GOC Spear Corps to 2 lieutenant generals. Then I went and served with the Assam
Oh, great.
Rifles. And then I know the dialect over there. I genuinely feel from my heart. So, do you think, like the term for me, for a person like me, would be, correct me if I'm wrong, the term would be Mayank. If I'm wrong, if I'm not right, if I'm not wrong. For our viewers to understand, Mayank is basically a
See,
person who comes from
this
outside.
is I I do understand. I do understand how much you love about. I appreciate also. At the meantime, I really understand about your feelings about you're concerning to bring back normalcy, peace, and tranquility and justice to the entire populace of not only Manipur, not only in Northeast, but entire India as well. Likewise, I do the same. I do the same. I have a good friends, good Meitei friends. I have a fellow friends, very nice people, the very talented people, very dynamic people, young and old. I have many lots of friends. Even in my political career as well, there are lots of people. But believe me, I was so shocked and my heart was burned
I think there's been a network error from Dr. Haokip's side. Dr. Haokip, you put your point
Yes,
forward very candidly and you spoke your heart out. I truly appreciate. Yes, 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 yes. You are talking.
yes.
The network went up.
Now let me tell you a thing. I don't want to hurt the sentiments of my beloved Meitei friends, elders, and who really love me, and whom I also really love and concern for their safety as well. But believe
That was the Dr. Haokip, and I think there's a bad network there. I think he's back. He should be signing in back. But yes,
yes,
Dr. Haokip,
the beauty of Manipur, the beauty of Manipur is
I
undeniable.
truly appreciate.
But who
I truly
destroyed?
appreciate.
But who
Dr.
destroyed
Haokip,
this?
Dr. Haokip, I truly appreciate you mentioning
Yes,
about your love for your Maite friends at the same time and being concerned for their safety at the same time. Yes, I would like to hear this further from you, sir.
yes, yes. In fact, I do. Now the beauty of Manipur is undeniable. And who is destroying that? This is because of Mr. Birend. This is because of injustice. This is because of undermining the democratic systems in the state. This is the failed state of Manipur, led by Birend Singh. I'm so sorry to say this, but I'm talking the fact. Thank you.
Yes, I truly appreciate you taking your time and you speaking so candidly. I hope peace returns to Manipur. It's such a beautiful state, such a beautiful people, such amazing culture. And lastly, I would like to know, you can feel free.
Let's hope so.
Don't you think that the Assam Rifles is doing their best they're doing their best that they can to actually
Of
bring
course,
peace and
of course,
normalcy over there?
of course, of course. We have no words. We have no words to use in to appreciate the Central Forces, including the Assam Rifles. They did their yeoman services. Of course, we are all human beings. Sometimes we may commit a mistakes. Sometimes we may commit a mistakes, but as a whole, the Central Forces, including the Assam Rifles, are doing their best, a yeoman service to bring normalcy back in the state.
Right, Dr. Haokip, I am neither Koki nor Maite, and I really feel for people from Manipur. In
I
fact,
know
when
that.
Tonsing Hansen, the 7-year-old child, when he was killed, unfortunately, when there was a bullet which had hit his head, and they were taking him in an ambulance
Correct.
to the hospital, to the hospital over there,
Right.
and that's the time when the
Right.
Maida Pabais had stopped. They had led the mob, and then when they were brutally burnt, and his father was Kuki, but mother was a Maite Christian. They are also Maite Christians. People do not know. They are also Maite Muslims.
Mhm.
That's the Pangal
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
people say. In fact, in 1972, Alimuddin was the chief minister. In 1972, he was a Pangal. So the
Yes.
very fact, and Lydia was his
Yes.
aunt who they were accompanied
Meitei
with.
Muslim.
And my heart bled the same day, Dr. Haokip, the same after that I spoke to Tonsing Hansen's father on the phone. I conveyed my condolence. I was so briefed and I felt my heart
Okay.
cried. That night I could
Mhm.
not get sleep actually, and I felt there's one case which has come to light thanks to the media. There'll be so many such cases from both the sides, from my side and from Cookie side in Manipur, and this kind of inhumanity should be stopped completely. Thank you, Dr. Haokip. I truly appreciate your time, and thank you very much for
Right.
coming on the show and speaking to us so candidly. Take care. Once again, praying wholeheartedly for peace return to a beautiful state like Manipur with beautiful people. Jai Hind.
We will do our best. Jai Hind.